accepting divorce when it's not something that you ever wanted. Very, very few people go into a relationship expecting it to end or planning on it. And so this cognitive conundrum that you're talking about is a really challenging thing. And so there are a couple of different things that you can do here. One is, if it's going to happen, or if it is happening, it doesn't matter. It no longer matters whether or not you want it or not. And you have to shift your thinking from how can I keep this from happening to how do I cope with what is happening. And that cognitive shift, anytime somebody's going through a divorce, that shift in thinking is a really important one. And it's typically a turning point in the coping mechanism, because especially if you didn't choose the divorce, there's almost always this period of time where you're trying to figure out how to keep it from happening. And it sounds like for you, you've been trying to keep it from happening for years and years. And even though you've been trying to do that, here you are in this situation. And so you have to shift your thinking from where did I go wrong? How can I keep this from happening? Is this the right thing? Am I making a mistake? What's this going to mean for my kids? What's this going to mean for me? You've got to shift all of that to, okay, given the reality, what is my best, healthiest option right now? And one of the most important things to do is to really focus on what you need to do personally to be able to begin to get your feet under you and to begin to thrive in your life personally. And that typically comes back to taking control of your life and really learning about yourself. One of the things that you may not want to hear right now is that lots of times we think that the most difficult aspect or part of divorce is actually getting divorced. But for a lot of people, the most difficult part comes after that, in terms of what do I do to move forward now? And so this really is a crossroads in your life where you get to decide the direction where you're going to go from here, if that makes sense. And so looking inward, taking control, gaining a deeper understanding of yourself, of the way that you think. If you stayed in a relationship longer than it was healthy to do so, why did you do that? What do you want for your future? Learning one of the most difficult things about divorce is the resource scarcity, where there were two people functioning in whatever way they were to carry out the 100 tasks that it takes to make life go. Now, more of those tasks are on you. How do you make sure that you've got enough resources to not be overwhelmed and drowned in that process? Looking at your thought processes, some of your core beliefs that are in the way, learning and understanding your personality and how to be a successful you. And then, at some future point, being able to position yourself in a position where when you are ready to start dating again and moving forward, which you may not be right now, putting yourself in a position where you can make good decisions and better decisions to set your future up for success. Okay, so it's really, really normal to feel overwhelmed and to question whether or not you've made the right decision. And there's so many moments in this process where you wonder and you question, and did I really make the right decision? I know it wasn't working, but is what I'm living now working? And I would just say, in many ways, you've made the hardest decision, making that decision to give yourself an opportunity at a brighter future, at a healthy relationship, because there are some really important things that you can only healthfully get from that primary attachment relationship. And when it's not functioning well, it leaves you in a state of deprivation and thirst that cannot healthfully be quenched any other place. And having made the decision to get a divorce, you've prioritized yourself, you've prioritized health, you're modeling for yourself and your children that you're not willing to continue to be in an unhealthy relationship. And while the road is really difficult and challenging right now, you've put yourself on a road where you're giving yourself a chance that you did not have in that unhealthy relationship. You now have a chance to really have a healthy life and a healthy and happy future. And that is worth the hell that you're going through right now.